Hello, guys. I hope everyone is okay. Now it's the time to discuss the semicolon. So, after discussing the colon, this is it, and we said the colon is two periods above each other, and this is the semicolon. So, what is the meaning of semicolon, and what are the rules of using this punctuation mark? So, we notice that this is the column, as I told you, and this is the semicolon. So notice the upper period, and under it, we have the comma. So this is the semicolon. Now I think it's the time to discuss the uses of this punctuation mark. So we use the semicolons to join two closely related independent clauses in more complex lists with punctuation and between independent clauses that are linked with conjunctive adverbs. So what does that mean? Now let's discuss the rules. Now, rule number one is saying I have to use a semicolon just to connect closely related independent clauses. So use a semicolon between closely related independent clauses which are not joined by a coordinating conjunction. If you remember, guys, when discussing the clauses and sentences, we explained that we have a kind of the sentence which is independent compound sentence. I mean, the compound sentence, we have two independent clauses, and we said in the video of clauses and sentences, so please watch the video about clauses and sentences just to understand the meaning of compound sentence. So we said that in the compound sentence, we have two independent clauses, and these two independent clauses are joined by one of the coordinating conjunctions. So, sorry, these are the coordinating conjunctions, and let me write all of them in only one word, which is fanboys. So we use these conjunctions, fanboys, just to join two independent clauses. So this is fanboys. So we notice that F for, A for and, N for nor, this is it. B for but, this is B. O for or, this is or. And Y for yet. And finally S for so. So these are the coordinated conjunctions we have to use to join two independent clauses. And this kind of sentences is called compound sentence. So now the rule is saying we have to use these semicolons between two complete sentences or clauses which are not already linked by one of these coordinating conjunctions. So let's talk about these examples. Notice that example number one is saying I'm going to order fish, full stop. This is simple sentence. Now in a new sentence, he is going to order a steak. So instead of writing two simple sentences, I can join them by writing only one sentence, and this sentence again is called compound sentence. And this is one of the farm boys, which is and. So I'm going to order fish and he is going to order steak. Now, instead of using one of the coordinating conjunctions, you can use a semicolon. So the same example, I'm going to order fish, semicolon, instead of and, he is going to order steak. So please be careful about this rule because it's really important. Now we have more examples. So notice that I don't really like desert. So notice this is the independent clause. I prefer savory foods, salty foods. So this is the second independent clause, and I joined them using a semicolon. So I have two choices to join two independent clauses just to make them one sentence. The choice or the option number one is to using one of the fanboys coordinating conjunctions, or you can use a semicolon. The next example, we have mom has gone shopping, semicolon, dad's is still at work. So two independent clauses instead of using a coordinating conjunction. Three, my sister is a party planner, is semicolon. My brother is a photographer. So independent clause, and this is the semicolon. The final example, we have call me tomorrow. This is the independent clause. I'll let you know my decision then. So this is the semicolon just to join two independent clauses instead of writing one of the coordinating conjunctions. Now, rule number two is saying I have to use semicolons between independent clauses, but these independent clauses are joined by a conjunctive adverb. Now, let's talk about the most familiar conjunctive adverbs we have in English. So we have moreover, absolutely, this is a conjunctive adverb. Nevertheless, however, otherwise, therefore, although, though, then, finally, likewise, otherwise, and consequently. So the example that we have, I can come to your party tomorrow, full stop. This is a simple sentence. However, I will arrive late. This is the sentence number two. So I can join these two sentences by using one of the conjunctive adverbs. So notice that it is the same example when I want to say I can come to your party tomorrow. Is semicolon, however, comma, I will arrive late. So notice that here we have two independent clauses, and this is the conjunctive adverb. But I need you to be careful about conjunctive adverbs if you want to use them in the middle of the sentence. If you want to use them in the middle of the sentence, don't forget that you have to write before the conjunctive adverb is semicolon, this is it, and after we have to use a comma. So please be careful because this is extremely important about using the semicolon. Absolutely, we have more examples. Now, this example is saying I have meetings all day tomorrow, a semicolon. Otherwise, comma, I would come for lunch tomorrow, for example, or something like that. So notice these are the two independent clauses. This is the conjunctive adverb, and this is the semicolon, which is before, and this is the comma, which is after. If I want to use it, I mean the conjunctive adverb in the middle of the sentence. Example number two, he was very tired, is semicolon. Nevertheless, okay, comma, he went on walking. The third example is saying Lauren just got married, is semicolon. Meanwhile, comma, I'm still single. The final example is saying Susan studied hard for the English exam, is semicolon. Therefore, comma, this is the conjunctive adverb. She got an excellent mark or grade. So please be careful about using the conjunctive adverbs. Now, rule three is saying I have to use a semicolon between items in a series containing internal punctuation. So let's discuss this rule. Now, semicolons are occasionally used as fancy commas. We use semicolons to divide the items of a list if the items are long or contain internal punctuation. And we don't have to forget that the items should be in the same category. I mean, I don't have to use commas only if I'm talking about different categories. I'm going to show you these examples. So the semicolons help readers keep track of the divisions between the items in a list. Let's take a look at these examples. This example is saying I traveled to Spain. This is the first place. Italy, this is the next one or the second one, and France last year. So absolutely, I have to separate these places by using commas. Please watch the video of using the comma just to understand correctly the using of the comma. Now, the wrong example is saying I traveled to Madrid, which is in Spain. This is one category because absolutely Madrid is a city and Spain is a country. And if you watch the video about using the comma, you can notice that I have to separate cities from countries using a comma. This is the comma. But I need you to notice that when I said Rome, Italy, now this is a new category because this is a new category. I cannot here use comma. This is wrong. Because it is a new category, I have to use what is semicolon. So because Rome is in Italy, it's in the same category. Absolutely, I have to separate the same categories, or let me say cities from countries using commas. But if I'm talking about different categories, please be careful because you have to use a semicolon. So this is one category. This is one category. And we notice that. And Paris, absolutely, Paris is in France. This is a new category. So this is why I used a semicolon last year. So please be careful because if you are talking about items, but be careful, maybe you want to talk about different items, or let me say different categories in the same sentence, because in this way you have to use a semicolon. You cannot keep using commas all the time because this is wrong. Okay, absolutely. We have more examples. So notice this example is saying, wait, this example is saying the company invited Steve, Carl, and Ryan to the conference. So this is the normal sentence and I used the commas in their correct places. But now if I want to say the company invited Steve, now Steve is the accountant. So I have to separate this person from his profession by using a comma. But notice that next I'm talking about a different person with different profession. Because of that, I have to use a semicolon, but I cannot use a comma. So this is, we have here the same category. This is a different category. So I have to separate two different categories using a semicolon, but not a comma. And we have a new person who is Ryan, and Ryan is the bookkeeper. So because here we have different person with different category, notice that I have to use a semicolon, but I cannot use a comma to the conference, to the conference. So absolutely here I want to write a comma because I haven't finished yet, and this full stop if I want to finish talking, or maybe the meaning is complete. So be careful because again, this is extremely important. Now let me give you 2 minutes just to answer or just to solve this exercise. Now the exercise is saying which of these sentences require semicolons. So please take 2 minutes to solve this exercise, and I have to say that you will do it. Okay, I think that you did it, and let me now put the correct semicolons in their correct places. Now, example number one is saying Jack is studying economics, is semicolon. What is studying law? So this is number one, and two is saying I'm not feeling very well. Here we have the conjunctive adverb. Because we have a conjunctive adverb, I have to write a semicolon before and a comma after. I want to be able to come tonight. Now, sentence number three is saying, let's chat tomorrow. I'll message you in the morning. So, two independent clauses. So, I have to write a semicolon to separate the two independent clauses. Now, sentence number four is saying the newest project members are Tony, Thomas, intern, okay, the same category. Karen, Dave's stuff. So we have a different category. Absolutely. Here I have to use a semicolon. Staff manager, absolutely. Dave's is a staff manager. And we have Lee Smith, who is a project director. So new category, absolutely. Here I have to use a semicolon. And finally, I have to write the full stop. Don't forget that I have to separate the items from the same category with using commas. Finally, the final example is saying I don't like eating most desserts, sorry. This is a conjunctive adverb, so I have to use a semicolon before and a comma after because I'm using it in the middle of the sentence. I do love ice cream. So this is it. Now I think you can use the semicolons correctly. Thank you for watching and good luck.